Hi, my tarot bumblebees, it's Ethany. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you are brand new here. Today I have a VR, so that is a video response to a tag created by Amethyst Ascension, and I'm just looking at my notes because I don't want to mess it up. It's the top 11 current favorite decks video tag, and I'm really excited to share with you the decks that I have selected for this tag, which is always so hard, but some decks recently came in that I smashed so quickly into my working decks and into my favorites that some of them were like super easy. So I have a mix of indie and mass market, and I have Oracle and Tarot decks. So thank you to Amethyst Ascension for this amazing tag. I have placed the original video in the description box so you can go and check it out. And if you have done this tag, please drop your video link as well in the comments so I can go check it out, because I love watching these tags. And let's go see the decks I have chosen.
When I say I fell in love with this deck, I'm not even kidding. I fell in love with this deck. It's such a weird thing to say, but for those of you who get it, get it. And I just want to say that Alex, who created this deck, wrote the sweetest little note, and there's handwriting. Look at the handwriting. It is just like putting me to shame, honestly, but look at this detail. This is someone who is so unbelievably talented. So Alex also sent me these incredible postcards that were drawn, that they drew. I am not 100% about Alex's pronouns, so I'm just going to say they for now, because I don't want to be disrespectful, accidentally, of course. I have been up here to the Glacial National Parks in Canada. Very sad to see how much the glaciers have faded. This is the Tarot Obscura, and oh my God, it is amazing. Okay, so it's a 78 card deck and guidebook, by Crypto Cartography Alex Burden, and it is, everything about this just feels 100% artisan and handmade. This is special, everybody. Special. I don't even know how many of these are left. It's got the box is cardboard. It is really thick. Okay, so I don't think there's going to be any problems with it. I'm absolutely going to buy I want to buy a tin and line it with velvet, because I have some sticky velvet, and then I'm going to put it in that. So this is Alex. And if you're unable to, if you see anything in my favorites list and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could, support this person, go and like them on Instagram, go and favorite their decks, pop them on your wish list, so for when people have need to buy you presents, if you do gifts in your family for your birthdays and stuff, you've got them, because this means so much to artists, especially right now. Okay, and with that, I'll stop. And this is going to go on the tin. So that was why I'm going to get a tin, and then I'm going to line it, and then I'm going to pop this beautiful hermit. He can sit here. This is the guidebook. I mean, look at it. It's like it's all typed. It is just so special. This is kind of one of those decks that I feel like you're going to have to pry out of my cold, dead hands. Now, when I was saying artisan, this is definitely artisan. The cards are they have a lamination on them for sure, but they don't have the rounded edges. I'm going to use my clippers, like my little rounder, and do that, just because this will happen if not. But remembering, everyone, this is indie decks. These are indie decks from people who cannot necessarily afford to do what, mass-produced deck creators can. Beautiful cardstock, gorgeous backs. It's got a matte finish. And heck yes, I'm going to read with this, even though it is going to be a rarer deck in my collection. Look at the detail in these cards. Line work is some of my favorite. So we have the flower. We have the symbol for Uranus. We've got, just look at all of the symbol. It's just so, so beautiful. Can you see why I am obsessed with this? It is so cool. Obviously, this is very stylized and it's not going to be for everybody. Like we've got, incense, but I fell in love. And I love it. Look at these two. This is how we see the Empress and the Emperor. Usually we see the Empress sitting side on, and usually she has cloth and everything, but here they are very, very similar. And you can see that this was done intentionally, but we have them separate. So she's crossing her legs. His legs are apart and his Aries is down there. Her Venus is in her hands. He's got the square in his hands and she's got a scepter, that beautiful scepter. The backgrounds still speak of their their places. We've got fields in hers and a beautiful house in the background. He's got mountains and stones. They both have crowns that are very similar. It reminds me very much of like an Aztec, Mayan feel with the power radiating from there, that divine connection to the Divine Mother, Divine Father. She has her fingers, see the two fingers, pointing differently than he does. So see how everything is completely done with purpose. Absolutely love, love, love that. The keys, like everything is so spectacular. This is going to work really, really well with a lot of the skeleton. I've got another couple of beautiful black and white skeleton decks, and I think this is going to go so well. This is a cream, not a white, and I actually really love that. I love that these sphinxes have universes like this space in their faces. Oh my goodness. I just want to look. So fire and then Leo. I want to look through this deck over and over again. So if you're into astrology, this is a fabulous deck to have in your collection because it's got all of the symbols in here for you to learn. And how cool is this? So usually death is a skeleton, but here death has flesh. Dude, if you are not dying over this deck like I am, if this isn't one that you were like, yes, the fiddle, the battle with the fiddle, the famous song, you're not dying over this deck. I don't even know. Maybe it's just me, but I think it is spectacular. Again, the sun and the moon, very similar. I love how Alex has done this. I love how it's been done. Both have eyes, both have towers in a way, or two different. So here we have the two towers of the moon card. And then we have the pinnacle in the background here. But this is almost like you could be turned around and looking that way, and this could be what's out on the ocean. I think it is just fantastic. And even too, we use the stars to navigate, and the sun is a star. This is a very famous painting. I have this if you have Secret Teachings of All Ages, there's this painting. God, I can't remember the name of it. I'll try and find it, but this painting is very well known. Now we move on to the minor, and here, of course, the ace doesn't have any specific astrological connections, so we have all three of the zodiac signs of fire: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay, we have all of our sun in Leo. Okay, so you're going to be able to do a lot of study with this deck if you want to as well. I love doing these like flashcards. That's a really fun way of doing it, is trying to remember the astrology. I'm going to go a little bit faster through the minors, otherwise we'll be here or die, which I could for this. It's just like, ugh. Fire, fire. So here, instead of having the Geminis, brain working words, wording, the astrological signs, because a lot of people don't necessarily agree with, or they don't use the Golden Dawn or the Rider-Waite system. We just have the elements. So this is fire of fire. This is earth, fire of earth of fire, or fire of earth, and this is air and fire. So cool. Alex has just done the most incredible job. I love that page. Page of Cups is one of my favorite cards. Just so cool. I love the Three of Swords is just like, the heart's not there. But it's through me anyway. I love that it's mummy. Oh, just so fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to round the corners out and with my little clipper, and I'll only ever use page clippers, beautiful Ace of Pentacles, because then it's uniform. Oh, I love that. Of course, the Nine of Pentacles is one of my absolute favorite cards. Just gorgeous. Alex has created something truly spectacular in the Tarot Obscura, and I highly recommend you check it out. The Ephemeral Tarot is by Leslie Patterson Marks, and she sent a lovely card as well with the Ace of Cups, which I'm obsessed with this soft serve ice cream. And I have many memories of going through, we had Mr. Whippy. If you don't know what Mr. Whippy is, look it up on Google. If you were a child of the 80s and 90s in Australia, you know who Mr. Whippy is. Don't know if that's anywhere else. Someone let me know in the comments if Mr. Whippy was outside of Australia, or going through the McDonald's, going to McDonald's for ice cream cones on very, very hot days in Australia. They melt very, very quickly. So this is gorgeous. I actually have I've looked through this a number of times. I couldn't even wait to do a first impressions because I just loved it so much. So I've looked through it. I have been desperately wanting to work with it with clients, but I didn't want to put it out of order. But it was a very easy selection for favorite ones. So it does have a really lovely guidebook, which I'll show you after. Okay, so standard card size. It's a thinner card stock. It reminds me a little bit of, not a thinner card stock. It's a good card. It's actually a really nice card stock. I think it's going to shuffle really, really beautifully. Look at this Fool. So this is, as the name does indicate, it is an ephemeral deck. So this is probably one of my favorite ways to do art, mixed media, like this crochet, some of the papers being stitched. I can only imagine how long this took, and it's really, really well thought of about, right? So there are a lot of collage decks on the market. I'm not a fan of a lot of them. They're not usually my thing, but this is so my thing. Even here, look, like you've got the 2 pillars in the lace of the High Priestess. So it's been really well done. They don't have any numbers, which is one of the things that is a bit of a struggle. But if you know your tarot, like the Authority is clearly the Emperor. We have Aries, we have the Ankh, we have the Eagle. So if you know anything about the Emperor, you know, the stone background, you'd know that that is the Emperor. But not all of them have different names. Like this is a little statuette. It's so well done. So Union is the Lovers. It's so fun. Oh. And the amount of time it takes to like find the images and like bring them together like that, like actually having to cut all the way around that, I can't even imagine. I lose so much patience. I should show all of the cards that I've made, not for a tarot deck, but for like just little affirmation cards. Surrender. That's gorgeous. I love this. And dandelions are so important and their medicine is so good. Oh, look at this, the skeleton and the flowers. Beautiful. So that's death. Temperance. Restriction instead of the devil. So cool. So, so cool. The catalyst instead of the tower. It reminds me of the time my sister nearly burnt the kitchen down boiling water. She forgot about it. The star. The moon. Really. So I hope you can see this is the Judgment card. Why I am currently obsessed. Now, the other reason why I am obsessed with this deck is it's all fully illustrated. There's no indication of the suits, right? It doesn't say 4 of Pentacles. This is Wands, obviously. But if you know anything about the tarot, again, you'd probably be able to figure it out. I do wish that on some of the cards that aren't as, like that could be the page. Thankfully, it's got the 6, that there was like just the wand somewhere. But this is so clearly the 7 of Wands. No, that's so clearly the 10. So Visionary of Wands, this is the page. Seeker of Wands is, or the Seekers of the Knights. Guide is the Queen and Guardian is the King. Now, I struggle to sometimes work with decks that have that change in their titles. But because this is so clearly Rider-Waite-Smith, so when we get to the cups, I'll show you what I mean. Who doesn't want a soft serve ice cream? Nana's like, no thanks. She's like, I got ice cream in the freezer. Isn't this fabulous? And I wanted to keep this in order for you so you can see why. Oh, I love that you've got like the, oh, there's the eclipse, but you have the other moon phases. Why this is one of my current favorite decks. The ice creams are killing me. I love it so much. Okay. So just a note on the ice creams. This is going to be very much a late spring, summer deck for me because of these ice creams. They bring me back to my childhood in Australia. So the Visionary of Cups, this is so clearly the page, right? So we've got a young child, we've got fish, we've got the fish coming out of the cup. The Seeker, now that could throw me a little bit. Guide, that might throw me a little bit too, and the Guardian, but the ship and the fish might. Hopefully I'm being a little clear there. Maybe I'm not, but I'm hoping what I'm saying is the images, the symbols, and what has been chosen will help you just figure out which one's the king, queen, ace, king, queen, knight, and page. So feathers, other swords. They're beautiful. Just gorgeous. So like here, the Seeker, we have a horse. We have the birds. We have the streaking clouds. Visionary. That would again be a little bit hard for me because it's not necessarily as clear that it is a young child. But this, if you had the guide and the visionary next to each other, you'd know. But I do like that they're not necessarily male. For the guardians, they're not kings. But as many, so circles are the pentacles. Hopefully all of you lovely, wonderful bumblebees have read my Your Tarot Court book where I talk about the titles as with like the history of those titles, how we can modernize them for our readings, but seeing the titles as a initiation of power and of learning and going through different experiences. I love this is in the Tree of Life for the 10 of Pentacles because that is in the 10 of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And I love this quilt, this patchwork quilt really speaks of many families having quilts or blankets that they add to and pass on. So cute with these buttons. This just makes my magpie ADHD friggin' brain so happy. I love it. Absolutely love it. I didn't show you the backs. This is the backs. And the cardstock doesn't leave any fingerprints, so it's matte, which is really lovely, except for I just put cream on, so I shouldn't have done that. But and then the guidebook we have, so this came out last year. And then good table of contents. At the age of 14, I purchased my first tarot cards, a Swithmate deck. Ephemeral, lasting a very short time, ephemera, paper items that were originally meant to be discarded after use but have since become collectibles. Some of my favourite things. I love the amount of ephemera I have in this house is disgusting. Introduction. Traditional, talking about the differences in the minor and major arcana. And then some suits information. Like this is a good amount of information. And then we go into the cards. And here we go. Artist notes are in italics. The major arcana. And then the information. Background. So the information from Leslie. The background of this card was created from my handmade marble paper. The Fool in the image, as in the Smith-Waite version, holds a white rose. I love this, that she's done all these notes. In a moment of synchronicity, I found this magician on the cover of a vintage sewing pattern. That is so cool. I absolutely love that she's got all these notes in here. So amazing. So this is a lifelong artist. She has a Master of Fine Arts. And yeah, I think what a beautiful deck. I'm so glad that I can share this with you. And what a frickin' stunner. The Ashelon Oracle is, well, what can I say about this? This is so cool. This was a passion project from an artist named Chaz. And it took 3 years for this person to complete the work. And it is such a fun deck. I feel like this is going to be such a cool deck to work into a lot of my like role RPGs, like all that sort of stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and the things that I do with my friends. And you'll see why in a minute. It comes with just a little tuck box. This is an indie deck. It has this card here, has the, I don't want to put the code on here, but this has there we go. This has oh my gosh, a code to go get the guidebook. And then you can see this is the backs. Now, I'm going to say it. I'm not a fan of backs that look like this because they're very, first, they're reversible. They're not reversible. Second, I get it. I get the branding thing. I mean, I put bees on everything, but that's just backs. I like to have it as a uniform thing. The cardstock is really good cardstock. I feel like this is like 400 GSM, and it's a standard tarot size deck. So this is a plain one. So this could be you as the significator if you're going to use the deck in that way, or you could have your own. You could put your you in there if you wanted to. But this is so acceptance. So there's different courts: court of love, court of earth, court of dreams, gears. I think that might be all of them, but we'll get through it. I'll show you them all. So acceptance. Oh, the court of gears though. That was the court of gears, not the court of earth. And there's a number. I have shuffled this. As you can see, it's not in order. This is very steampunk, pirate, fun time, sort of fun thing. Okay, so I have to say I'm doing a party, a themed party for a friend of mine here who is an event planner, and she wants a tarot reader. It's a pirate party. This is going to be my second pirate themed birthday party where I'm doing readings, and I'm taking this deck and Jen Sankey's deck because I think they will work really, really well together as okay, so maybe not all of them are pirates, but I just feel like it's got this very pirate-ish vibe, very low-key. The fairy. So I'm definitely going to take this deck. So as you can see, there's steampunk, but this very much reminds me of, the D&D classes, or maybe like a Pathfinder. I mean, gosh, this reminds me about half of the freaking games that I play. So it's so fun. And if you don't play D&D, there are animals that, different races that have animal, counterparts that they can turn into animals. They have animal features. So this is definitely going to be for people who like this. This would also work so well with the Tabletop Tarot by Brandy, which is based on D&D. It's got a lot of Critical Role characters in it, and very famous Dungeons and Dragons characters. It's so unique and different. I don't think I have many decks that are like this sort of different. You know what I mean? I have nothing like this in my collection, and this is why it was yep. Oh my gosh, this takes me back to my eco fairy days. I didn't have hair like that, but I've got wings. And I used to wear pants like that. Oh, hi, eco fairies. So yeah, this is a fantasy fever dream. This could be a paladin or a cleric. Yeah. Half orc. So maybe World of Warcraft. A lot of MMOs, I guess. So fun. Look at this luck. A lucky witchy fairy. Yes, please. It's so fun. And I love the modern twist. If you have a look here, so these are two very iconic cultural dress and images. Okay, so first we have a First Nations and the people of North America. So here it's you can clearly tell from the designs, the boning on the chest piece, the feathers in the hair, but it's not, I guess it's not glamorized in a way of like making it, there's a word for it. There's a word for it, I can't remember, but it's not making it fetish. Is it fetishized? I think so. Like it's, yeah. And then here we have a Japanese inspired. That outfit is so freaking cool. But again, it's a little bit, it's a little bit modern, even though you could probably definitely see someone, garb like this. I can't wait to go to Japan. Japan is so, so high on my list. Okay, any bumblebee from Japan. If there are tarot conferences and things there, someone hook me up because I have been desperate to go to Japan. Okay, so this is like clearly an Angelina Jolie inspired Wonder Woman and Xena Warrior Princess molded into one, and I am absolutely here for it. Repair. But see, the thing is like here, this is so much deeper than you may think in like, oh yeah, this is like a fun pop culture kind of deck. But this is the Court of Love, and the word is rejection. Right. And what does rejection do? How can that like turn you into someone who hardens their heart? So there's so much here that you can work with. And then even if you go deeper too, this is the number 6. And the 6 in the tarot, if you're working with this with the tarot, is the Lovers. So say you had the Lovers card come out in a reading and then the rejection card came with it, you would be able to really you would be working with that space, right? And then say the Devil came up 1 and 5, 15 is 6. So there's so much you can do with something like this. Repair. So Justice's repair. So this would be a really fun, could be a really fun way to work with the tarot with this, especially with the different types of keywords, because not always do you have one that says sleep or spark. So the keywords are also really fun. So I think that this could be seen as one thing, or it could be typecasted like talent. What a great keyword. It's so versatile. It could be seen as something that is, a little bit like, for a specific type of people, but it's really not. It's for so many time. Yes, do I think this would work really well with younger people or people who like gaming? Absolutely. But do I think that there's a lot more to this deck? Are you kidding me? I'm getting so much inspiration right now just looking through the cards. Okay, 9 and he's holding a cups. What do we know about the 9 of cups? Emotional satisfaction, being really proud. It's definitely emotional wish. There's a wish connection to that card. And wonder what. It is such a fantastic deck. I don't have the guidebook to show you, but but it does come with a guidebook. Maybe what I'll do is I will show you some screenshots of the guidebook or a little video of the guidebook once I print it out to show you what you get. But I adore this deck, and I know I'm absolutely going to be working with it. And yeah, it's just such a thoughtful deck. I love the cogs and the compasses in the background. I like that there's a suits and lots to work with. So that's the Ashelon Oracle. Perfect deck for spring. And of course, going to be one of my favorites right now. My current favorites is the Forager's Daughter Tarot. Supremely beautiful. This is so luxe, and these colors. I know cicadas are summer, but it just really says spring to me. Oh, this book. This is the Afterlight edition. So this is by Jessica Lee Howard. Oh, thank you for everyone who support this project. Oh, and it is just so well done. Okay, so I'm going to do the book first because it's here. And then we go into the guide, straight into the cards. So there is information on why this was chosen. And then we have position, upright, and reversed, and then sign. Okay, so these are the symbols: the sapling, the taproot, the monarch, and the cracked egg. So this is for each one. I love that because animal decks and decks that are really featuring the wild places are not always easy. For me, at least, because I'm so used to the, oh my God, but I'm so used to the Rider-Waite-Smith, but because we've got this incredible book, this would be on hand all the time for my own, I guess, deliciousness. Like, I just love reading about why a creator has put a specific symbol or an animal and where. So I did go through that backwards a little bit, but following the track spread, I love this. Clear the river. Oh, that's a great one. Consulting the seasons. And then the end. What a beautiful, beautiful book. Oh, and it's just, everything about it is like delicious. He's not malicious. He's not vicious or malicious. He's just lovely and delicious. Well, I guess the deck. So we have a lovely magnetic box with the backing and then the white ribbon. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on linen cardstock because I actually really quite like it and I wanted to use it for my latest one, but a lot of people were like, not linen, and I'm wondering why. I actually think it's lovely to shuffle. It's lovely to hold. They don't slip out of your hands. It gives a beautiful texture. Let me know in the comments. Beautiful backs. Chef's kiss on the back. Gorgeous. We have gold gilding and then the deck. So this came out, the original came out, I think, on Kickstarter. It was a few years ago. I'd have to look up when. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, look. I actually have, isn't that crazy? Right here. That is so wild. Wow, that is wild. You all know how much but I actually have frogs on my Cosmic Wisdom Hierophant card. That is bananas. Everything about this is quite beautiful for me. We actually have these here. I adore this too because I love being out in nature. I love being out in nature. Like we have woodpeckers here. The first time I heard it, I was like, what the heck is that? And then the woodpeckers were like hitting the metal poles here. God, they are loud as AF. Honestly, if you've never heard how loud a woodpecker is, it's crazy. The hermit, of course, I'm going to be obsessed with a firebug and a snail and mushrooms. The wheel, justice. So we have the like circle of life, and then the ripples out and the mushrooms, like everything's going to go back to that. It's just so well done. Oh. You know, so salamanders are often seen, well, there's different types of salamanders, but salamanders are a very enduring symbol of fire, temperance being Sagittarius. And with that, but they are also water animals. So I love that this is temperance because of that. So I've kept this again. I've put a lot of stuff in order because I just wanted to be able to catfish. Just think about this for a second. Catfish. What do we know about catfish? Well, they're bottom dwellers. And what does the term catfish mean in society now? Like, you can be catfished online. The moon is a card of illusions and can be fears as well. And you could be catfish. The man of your dreams, another keyword for the moon, could be a catfish. Obsessed with ladybugs. That's going to be one of my tattoos, is a ladybug. I'm doing up my arms for my solar and lunar animals. Just gorgeous. Oh. And then we have ancestors. These are extra. Sorry, I should have said that. I got distracted by the beauty. So the world, ephemerality, what a word, ancestors, stillness, bond, ingenuity, and then we go in here. I love those extra cards, and I would absolutely keep those in the deck when working with them. But this is they mate for life. This is a deck that I would work with right now in spring as I am sharing this with you. I saw one of these in Mexico in a cenote, and it was blue. A big one too. I was swimming with it. We call them yabbies. You guys call them crawfish? I don't know what they call them down there because I don't know the Mexican. I don't know the Spanish word. Yo. Again, need more coffee, but we call them yabbies. I adore that the cups are here, but the bugs are there. It is so smart. And this is, again, one of the things I adore about this deck. It is so well thought of. I love a nature deck that makes me know, like, not makes me, I was going to say makes me think, but I guess a lot of decks make me think, but I love a nature deck that lets me know that the creator has thought about why things go on things. And like, look at the moon phases. Okay, so we have in the Northern Hemisphere, this is a waxing moon, a very, very brand new waxing moon. And then see how they build to the full moon? So cool. But in the Southern Hemisphere, this would be a waning moon, which is very cool. Don't know if everyone knew that, but that's true. So I love this as a Ace of Pentacles is the dark of the moon. So pretty. It's so gorgeous. Babies. Of course, the cat. What a great symbol. And then we have the same. Oh, that's cool. So each one of them is the same. So for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, this is meant to be the waxing moon all the way through to full, but it is opposite there. But if you're reading them that way, it's a problem with the moon phases in a global society. I didn't know that until I started to study Wicca, and I was like, say what? And then I looked it up. I was like, that is crazy. I love it. It's Trash Panda. They're everywhere around here. Oh, no, baby. Poor baby. Oh, I love that she's a spider that I'm terrified of. Oh, horned owl. This is such a sublime Two of Wands. Oh, my goodness. This reminds me of a lot of places I hike. All of the chef kisses. That's right now. There's so many daffodils in the neighborhood. Just gorgeous. And how far like seeds like this can go. Strong like ox and ant. I have a joke with my sister. In which I pump her up and I say, you are beautiful like princess. Wise like very, very, very smart queen. Strong like strong like ox. Stubborn like bull. I don't know. My character in D&D is an Air Genasi monk. And he speaks like this. He is from Eastern Europe and is likes to. I just love that accent. I like speaking it. I'm probably not very good at it, but there is something very satisfactory. His name is Buzz. Page, Knight, Queen, King. One of these days, I would actually really love to do a one shot and film it. We are absolute Chaos Demon Goblins though. Our crew name is Chaos Crew, but it would be really fun. This is stunning. And of course, it's one of my favorite decks right now. I'm really picky about Oracle decks because of how many there are out there and like, you know, how many do you kind of need. This is a fast favorite of mine and one that I'm absolutely going to be using with clients. I'm not doing any client readings right now because I'm working on finishing some work, but I am obsessed with this deck. It is gorgeous. Here are the backs. Very spring. It's beautiful. This is by Cristina Gonzalez. And everything about this deck makes me happy. I love the different images, the library, not something that I see a lot. The moorland, again, don't see that a lot in Oracle decks. Love that we have these different spaces. It's going to be so fun to read because I don't have any Oracle decks for some of these. And here's the thing too, it's like the cliff. How about we take this too? So the cliff, for example, we know that there's quite a few tarot cards that have cliffs in them. So the Seven of Wands and the Fool. So there could be, if those cards come up in a reading, then, and you've picked this card, then that could be really interesting. The Temple. So we've got the High Priestess. We have the Hierophant. So I think that there's going to be a really lovely way to connect these two. You know, you have the Star. You also have Temperance, for example. Love, 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 love this deck. It's different and amazing, and it just gives me all of the Lady Lovely Locks, Care Bear, kind vibes. Then we move into animals. And I have a lot of animal decks, but this one is the fact that it comes with the different places and the fact that there's so much in there. So like the wolf, we have the little kitty down here. There is the crescent moon. There is the bow and arrow. We have stars. We have some plants here. We have a temple. So there's other things in this deck. The hummingbird. We have these vines. We've got the kitty cat again. I think is probably in every single one, the white cat. And then we have the trumpets or the horns. I see spirit a lot as a white cat. I've had lots of readings with clients where I've talked about seeing a white cat, and that is usually a spirit coming in. And so I love the fact that there is this white cat and it's called the Alchemy of Spirit. So I don't know if I don't think that was intentional, but that's a really cool connection for me. Whoops. And I love that these are all like spirit animals that have been taken from the stars, the constellations. Now we come into symbols. So you could do readings with one symbol, one place, one animal. You could just work with it as its own. The second I got this deck, I pre-ordered this. Again, I got it. It came to me. It was delivered. And then I immediately ordered a second deck. So I already have a backup deck because I love it so much. So much. So very much. It is gorgeous. I've seen a few people talking about this deck, and I just, like the clover, one of my favorite symbols. It's got 63 cards. It's got a beautiful amount of cards to work with. This is not going to be leaving my workspace for a good long while. I can tell it's going to be one of those decks that I'm totally obsessed with. So we have a beautiful poem, and then these are situations, spirits, and signs. Love. I haven't read any of this, so I really want to. And I'm actually going to read this little cat, guys. Look, so cute. Stop. All right, then we have that as well, and just so beautifully done. And then the suits are really easy to find because we have the situations, the spirit, the animals, and the symbols. She is the illustrator behind Snakes and Roses and lives in Ecuador. And I just absolutely love this. Just, oh my gosh, it's so stunning. And yeah, absolutely one of my favorites right now. Okay, I had to check. It's not done by the same illustrator, but it's very similar. This is the fairies. And the same thing, we have the little book of mermaids, little book of fairies. And it comes like in the same pack. This is still done by the same studio. So you'll have, if you have both of them, I was like thrilled when I saw this because I love the fairies one. So we have the backs, which are really sweet. They're not reversible, but I don't read reversals anyway. Okay, and it is just gorgeous. I love the prompts for this deck. I love the borders. Yes, they may be a little bit big, but I just love them because they are color connected to the card, and just like you look at even this, right, duality in either side of the border is done. It's so well thought of. Pretty sure that's a proper sentence. It's very thoughtful, and I love it. I love it so much. This is such a fast favorite of mine, and absolutely had to be on my current favorites. I adore it so much, being that I wanted to be the Little Mermaid ridiculously as a kid. I wanted to be Ariel. It was one of my favourite Disney movies. And I wanted to be a mermaid. You know, most of you know I wanted to be a marine biologist. Love the ocean. I love swimming. I had to get dragged out of the water as a kid, and there were places that I've been around the world where I have not wanted to get out of the water at all. But I love that some of these prompts are not ones that I've seen before. Like I love that under the water, right? She's a different creature. So I really appreciate that there's something a little bit different in this deck from any other mermaid deck. And there are a lot of mermaid decks. So, I mean, oracle cards, there's only so many prompts you're going to get, but I love like laugh out loud, sense of place. The artwork is so stunning. Feel the rhythm. I just think it's such a beautiful deck. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Move through loss. Seize the day. Sedna. I would say that's Sedna if I was. And I think that's Yemenia. But I wouldn't. I'm not 100% sure. Side by side. And the elements. Isn't it gorgeous? It's got a beautiful, that beautiful petal, soft petal cardstock. I quite like that cardstock. I know it's not for everybody, but it is really lovely cardstock. So I think it will hold up to quite a bit of shuffling. I hope they do like a gnomes one, like, you know what I mean, like a fairy of the forest kind of thing. And then we go straight into sort of the cards, a little bit of the folklore. And it tells you about the actual where the mermaids are from. So this is from the Isle of Man. This is Greek mythology on Christian Andersen, Little Mermaid. So it's this, I like that we got a little bit about the actual where these folk come from. Poseidon. Oh, Poseidon's my patron god. So yeah, it's really, really sweet. There's nothing else in this. It doesn't come with any spreads or anything like that. It's the same with the fairies, but I don't give a shite. Love this deck, and it's absolutely one of my favorites right now. The Dark Goddess Oracle deck is by Caitlin McCarthy, and this just recently came out, and it is really, really cool. So one thing I was like, every time I see like a mass market deck, I'm like, oh, what have they done with their boxes? I love this. Instead of putting foam in or something, they just put a little cardboard lift. I was like, well, that's cost effective and, good for the environment. So it comes in this box. It does have a little bit of like lift in it, but I think they probably could have done without it because it lays pretty flat, but that's just a design thing on my thoughts. Then we have the book, and this is the deck. It does hold fingerprints, which I'm not the craziest about, but again, this is mass market. How many cards are in here? I don't know. We're not quite sure. It doesn't tell you on the back. Cool. But it is really fun. I have so many goddessy decks. There are a lot of dark goddesses that I have not heard of before. So we have the name and then a keyword. So this is Ani no Azumi, and I know Azume, but I didn't know about Anam Nomi Azumi. And I love that so Aphrodite is not necessarily known as a dark goddess, but she was a bitch. Actually, all the Greek gods were assholes. Most gods were very flawed. And romance can get ugly. So these have these like clown-esque eyes almost. They are like white, Baba Yaga, Basset. It's very stylized. I feel like this is going to, I'm working with it right now, and I am obsessed with the vibe of it, which is why it's on this list. I do feel like it's going to, I feel like this was like targeted at a younger audience, Caradwin. But these are really, really, really pretty. The only thing I will say about is that the backs being nothing is a little hard. Plus, like, say, for example, for me, Demeter is a mother goddess. I feel like her face should look a little bit older. That's really cool, Idoga. So I understand the black and white, but it would have been cool to even like have a white texture on the background or something to kind of make the black pop. It does feel a little flat, even with the lines, but it is in my favorite decks right now because this is like one of those ones. It was like my current favorite decks. I love the key has got her labyrinth. See how young they all are? Like, this is just my thoughts. Ishtar. But they are really, really beautiful. So I wanted to work with it. I've been working with it this month. I'm filming this in March, so I've had it actually like right at the end of March. So I have had it for a while. And again, like, you don't always see some of these, right? And I do love that. And I see, like, I love the shells in here and the waves. Like, it's beautiful. It would have just been cool if it was more in the background just to make it pop a little bit. Anna the Morrigan. Riti. Not. Newt. Nyx. I love Nyx. Ushan. Oya. Lightning. Storms. Pele. See, I love that there's like a lot of different Ragana, sorry, Ran. See, not a lot of people have got Ran in their decks. Ragna, Santa Muerte. I love Sedna. I actually have a goddess doll I made by hand of hers. Sekhmet. Skadi. I'm not going to try. I don't know how to pronounce them. Probably Yemena. Yuki Ona and Zoya. Zoya? So yeah, I love that these have got goddesses that I've not necessarily heard of, which is one of the reasons why I'm working with it too. And then when you go into the guidebook, it is very much one of these mass market quick guidebooks here. So it's not, you know, anything super special. I like that we've got the really quick keys here, an introduction. And what I mean by super special is like this is a little white book. We all know what a little white book is. 1, 2, triple goddess, 1 card, shadow work, makes sense. And then we go into it and we have the myth and the meaning for each one. And then we go to the back. Caitlin McCarthy's in Northern California with her partner and daughter. This is like her work, and this is why it's one of my favorites, because her artwork is simply stunning. Stunning. So this is why it's one of my favorites, and it is really gorgeous. And I hope that it sells lots and lots of copies because mass market is hard to sell lots. And it is really, really, really gorgeous. And pulling a dark goddess card for every dark moon is just like feels very delicious in my practice. So thrilled that the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed by Leilania Simone is now mass market. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this deck. It was on my wish list for a really long time on Etsy. I finally was able to get it because Wiser has published it. So it does come with a little guidebook. I do believe that the indie version came with a really big guidebook. I love this blue. Love. It almost matches my nail polish. So I don't always work with collage decks. It's not something that I tend to be drawn to, but I really love this deck a lot. So we have a stamp on the back. Great cardstock. It is a little thin, but it feels like it's actually really good quality. I don't know what they've used. Don't know what cardstock Wiser has decided to use. This deck has been around for a while. So I'm sure many of you here on Tarot Tube have seen the deck and have probably worked with the deck. Oh, I haven't even Now, I waited to have this on this tag because I knew I was going to start working with it straight away. The colors in this deck, I think, are what really, really make me obsessed with it, and it's why it was one of my favorites right now. Oh my gosh, so cool. I love blues and teals and purples and pinks a lot. Like this is very much my color palette. And, you know, even though it is a collage deck, and as I mentioned, not always my favorite, even though my favorites right now, I've got 2. What a fantastic tower card. I feel like this one is one of the best out there. It feels very different. It feels like it could be a sister to the Ephemeral Tarot. You know, this could be the the nighttime deck to the Ephemeral Tarot's daytime deck. You know what I mean? The world, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So this is the extra card, a Cosmic Seed. Love this Ace of Cups. Totally obsessed. So yeah, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. This feels like it's a really lovely cardstock. I don't know what love to know what they used, but it's a lovely cardstock. I love that there's so many different images from around the world in this. It's not just one, you know, type of kind of mythology or space. So now we've gotten to the first court card. We have the Messenger for the Page, Action for the Knight, Nurturer for the Queen, and Mastery for the King. And again, I would struggle with these, not the Nurturer, but not this being like a swap of gender. Just my court cards associations are so Rider-Waite-Smith, but I like that this is forcing me to look differently. And I've been using this. My plan is to use this for readings for myself for a good month, because I want to work with it. I love this Seven of Coins. Oh, the gold and the corn. Yeah, I want to work with this for a good month, and then see how it feels to move it to a client space. This would work so well with the Super Lunaris tarot as well. Like so well. So I'm just going to quickly, for those of you who've never seen this before, love to hear from someone who's got the indie version what the guidebook for that one is like, because I have a feeling that oh my God, I'm my Queen of Swords. Oh, even though like technically I'm the Action of Swords being Gemini, but I very much associate with the Queen of Swords. Beautiful, beautiful. The more I look at this deck, the more I am absolutely in love with it, to the point where I feel like I need to get a second copy just so that I can use the crap out of it. Now, you know, if I love a deck, I'm going to get a secondary copy backup. Isn't it gorgeous? It is just so stunning. So a masterpiece in collage decks. And I really love this idea of having the Cosmic Seed as the nighttime and then the Ephemeral as the day, because they're both the collage decks. We have a little bit of information for each card. And I'll tell you a little bit about the Cosmic Seed. Again, I'd love to hear from people about what they have, if they have the big one, the indie deck. And I now need to absolutely get the Oracle deck as well. But, oh, such a favourite. Love, love, love. Thank the mass market gods that this deck has been done right. The Wizard of Oz deck is a Inside Editions deck, and I think this is their best to date, because I don't know if someone has like heard the cries of what we've been saying about how, well, I mean, I particularly have been saying about how the decks don't feel thought out, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Probably wasn't me, but I'll take it. This is the inside with the really cool design and the brown. Love the artwork. As someone who has been watching so much Wicked, I absolutely love this deck. Love the backs. The Emerald City, the poppies, and the Yellow Brick Road. The book is quite decent.
I don't want to give too much away of the art of what they've done here. The cardstock is lovely. I mean, I think Inside Edition do a pretty good cardstock. It's a velvet, like a soft feeling cardstock. But what I love is how well done this is. So you can see really quickly how there's some sepia tone and there is colour. And if anyone has not seen the movie and picks this deck up, go watch the movie, the original, and then come back. So we have these that was in reality that are the sepia tones, and then we have the Oz as colour. And it is so well done. And I think it works really well to the overall message of the movie, the characters in the movie, and how we can move from one space of being to the other, and how wonderfully this is done. I love the borders. We have the yellow brick road. Everything is done so beautifully. Fantastic. Love, 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 love. So this is one of my favorites. Like, like the tower. Who was this done by? Who was this done by? My goodness. Why is this person not on the... David Oratu is an Italian artist living in Spain, and Erica Davis is the author. Well done, David. I'm going to say that's how you say your name. I don't know. Fucking amazing. And I don't know if the writer for this had anything to do with the artwork, but whoever did the artwork deserves all of the praise. And look how beautiful this world card is, like going through to Munchkin Land and through to Oz. So we have brooms instead of wands. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through this because this isn't like a full... And I'm going really, really fast. We have cans instead of cups. And look at how the is finally fully frickin' illustrated. Yay, 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 a million times yay. I pre-ordered this on the Zon. I don't normally like to do that. I haven't seen it in stores though, so I'm glad I did. And I love it. I know this is going to be so popular for a lot of the like fairs and festivals that I'm going to be doing. I often do a lot in the summer. And then we have spears instead of swords. I do lots of them. So this is going to be really popular. And I love that we go back and forth from scenes in Kansas and scenes in Oz. It's so fun. So, so, so fun. And then bricks instead of pentacles. This is a themed deck done exceptionally well. I'm so glad that this is not some slapped together, situation. And I get it. Like, some people really love the minimal minor arcana. I mean, I know I'm like, I don't, but I know a lot of people, there are people who do. It's just such a shame, like, for example, like with the Disney Villains one, when there's so much IP, there's so much imagery that can be used as inspiration, and they just put like minimal effort into it. I think that's what makes me a bit irked. And so for each card, you get upright and reversed, and then an image. The Major Arcana has a full page. but I mean, not terribly too much more information. So we have an intro, understanding the deck, and then it goes straight into it. So we also have a couple of, I love that, the companions, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. So it is really, really cute. It is absolutely one of my favorites. And for all of those Wicked fans, maybe we're probably going to get a Wicked one as well. I wouldn't put it past Warner Brothers to give us a Wicked one now that we have this beautiful Wizard of Oz tarot. But this has been one of my favorites because, yeah, finally done right and exquisite artwork, so inviting, so great for inner child work, smashed it. There are so many modern takes on the tarot, but I still love coming across one that I can use. And this is the Practical Tarot by Lisa Kessler. And this is, I found this at my local bookstore, or one of my bookstores. Big box and a lovely big book with actually quite large text. I know that some people who like bigger text are really going to enjoy that. Now, the cardstock is not anything to write home about. It's very, very glossy. Who's this by? Beyond Words. I don't know much about that publisher, but that's the backs, which are reversible, very simple. As I mentioned, it is very, very glossy. So, and I mean, it's not the worst. It is a bit thin, but it's mass market again. But what I love about this deck is it is very, very multicultural. It's so easy to read with. Now, I haven't done any readings with it, but I can tell, I've already looked through it once. Some of the symbols are really jumping out at me. I'm really enjoying the mix of different cultures and mythologies, and the artwork has this like dreamy, ethereal look to it. And there's a mix of modern and sort of like an age gone by-esque of this deck. Like, this is a very modern looking person. This is also quite modern. I love that she's transitioning there. But then we had some of the other ones, very pan, that look very, very different. So, yeah, I just think this is so, so sweet. Interesting broken world, hey? Like, the world is inside. So it's a very interesting, easy to read deck, and I would absolutely recommend this to someone who's looking for a pretty easy entry point to the Rider-Waite-Smith system, but someone who doesn't want to, and she's so sweet, gorgeous little face, doesn't necessarily want to get a Rider-Waite-Smith deck because they don't respond to the imagery. But as you can see, there's some very modern looking images and some very, I guess, like Renaissance fair or old mythologies, and it is a really sweet mix of the two. It might not be for you. I love that this would be a really good learning deck, a student deck. But yeah, it's one of my favorites right now because I do love coming across a mass market deck that is really usable, that has been done with intention. I believe Lisa has done the artwork and has also written the book. So I love supporting someone who's done both. And yeah, I mean, the more real art we can get in our tarot decks, whether it's your style or not, the better, because you all know how I feel about AI art. Just so beautiful. Love the reflection in this scimitar. Just, it's really, really cool. Really, really love this deck. And I think some of the slippery, I mean, it's going to fan. Like, she's just going to, oh yeah, she fans beautifully. So it's got that kind of lamination on it.
So this has just come out this year. I love that we've got a very easy way to access everything. So actions and projects, ideas and mental health. So that's a really lovely intro, and a little bit about the creation, making of the deck, working with the deck. So tarot spreads. And then we get into the cards, and then we have a journal and meditation question for each of the major arcana, and then also for the minor as well. So it's a really sweet deck here. So here we go. There's Lisa, America's most haunted residence at the Whaley House. Ooh, I want to go there. And then there is a big companion book, the Practical Tarot Companion. So I don't have that one. I don't know where to get it. I haven't seen it, but yeah, the Practical Tarot has been something that I'm looking forward to using, and is a current favorite of mine. This is the Enchantress Tarot, and I found this at my local bookstore. Was really, really excited to see some more tarot decks in the mass market arena in my bookstore, which was really great. So that's the inside of the box. And put it over there. And then we have a little guidebook, which is colour. There's not a huge amount of information with each of the cards, but there's a little bit. I like the little mottos, the famous quotes for each of the major arcana. And then you just have a really quick, like literally just that. It's almost like it doesn't even have a back cover. It's just so they're like, we're just going to, do it like this. But yeah, all good. And let's jump into the cards. I mean, honestly, most people aren't buying a mass market deck and expecting a lot. The reason why mass market decks can be cheaper is because they don't have as much as independent decks, or they don't do as much. Like a Llewellyn one, you get quite a lot of writing. These are the backs. They're not reversible, but they're very minimal. The cardstock is pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie. The cardstock is pretty crap. It's craptastic with a side of crap sauce. But I really enjoy the art style, and I have been using it for readings. It feels very spring with all the flowers, and yeah, it's very youthful. Obviously, I feel like this is very geared towards a younger crowd for the tarot, but it is really, really sweet. I think their death card is really cool. So the illustrations are by Josephina. I'm not even going to try. Maybe I will. Sharagonsky. Okay, probably balls that. So sorry. A little rocking horse. So it is really cute. You can tell that Josephina has put a lot of work into this in regards to the tarot. I mean, the aces are very sparse, but at least we have full illustrated, very minimal, but full illustrated minor arcana cards in the way of like there's people in this. So, I mean, you're not going to get anything too, I guess, groundbreaking. Love the little, but I really think this is quite sweet. It kind of brings me back to, I mean, I would have loved this when I was a teenager, and I was using the tarot, and I picked up my first decks. But like, this is so cool. Like the Eight of Cups is you lost a boxing match, got to walk on. You know, so I think it's really fun for youthful feeling readings, and that's why I've been like really loving it, and that's why it's in this tag, because it feels very youthful, and I've been trying to get some of that energy into my practice right now, especially with the season change and just with everything being quite heavy. I wanted to have something that was a little bit more youthful and fresh and clean, and this felt like it, and that's the reason why it's on the list. This is going to be cardstock that does not hold up to a lot of shuffling. I don't think this is going, I mean, it might, it's definitely got a finish on it, like a lamination, but I know a lot of people are going to like the cardstock. It's very thin and it's translucent. Like I can see, if I hold it up like this, you can't see it, but I can actually see through the card. I can see the back pattern on the card. So yeah, for those of you who are really concerned with cardstock, you definitely probably not going to like it, but it's one that I'm really favoriting right now.
Which one of these lovely creations is your favorite? Please let me know in the comments, and thumbs up for this video if you can. It takes very little time and it is a huge help to my channel. And I will see you all next time.